Election day is here, and I'm going to copy what practically everyone else is saying. Right now, it's too soon to tell. It's way too soon to tell. Even though people have been voting for the past couple of weeks, and there have been millions of votes, way more than people were expecting, they haven't been counted yet. And they'll probably be the last to be counted. But even if it was that, it's not a simple who gets the more votes. So briefly before I watched work, GMTV was on, or Good Morning Britain, whatever it's called now, and they had Anthony Scaramucci, who used to work with Trump. I think he was there for a week, 2 weeks, something crazy like that, saying that it's an electoral vote. Which is absolutely true. It is, because Hillary Clinton got 3 million more votes than Donald Trump, but Trump got the electoral win. Now, it's not to say that you can't win without the electoral vote, because Obama didn't get the electoral vote. The Electoral College, so it supports the Republicans more than anything else. But it's certainly difficult, and Biden needs to win in a landslide. If it's close, then there's too many dirty tactics that the Republicans can... Busy out there today. There's too many dirty tactics that the Republicans can and will use. I mean, they've been gearing this up for ages. They've been saying in the past week or so in the polls that Trump's doing so well, he's doing so well. He's not. He's getting crushed in practically every single poll. Now, polls are always a little bit sketchy, but when you're getting trashed in almost all of them, and the only ones you're winning in are the ones that only ask your base, that's an issue. But there are a ton of other issues that Republicans have been doing, and so yeah, it's not a clear-cut statement. But what I do want to talk about briefly is Piers Morgan's comment before I left work. And it was, Biden might save a few lives by taking the pandemic seriously, but Trump's good for the economy. First and foremost, as a basic human being, go fuck yourself. Human lives cost more than a fucking economy. Human lives cost more. You can make money, you can steal money. You can't bring someone back from the dead. So fuck you. Secondly, and this harpens on to something that I saw Alex Belfield coming out, something that was suggested to me. I liked his stuff. And I've said 100 times, I don't care if you have a difficult political leaning to me as long as you're honest. But in one of the videos I saw from Alex, it was entitled "Trump Must Win US Election, Joe Biden Disaster." And in this 4-minute 11 video, he said, say what you want about Trump, but Trump is a businessman, he's never been impeached. I will be the first to say the Democrats are so unbelievably pathetic. It's almost intentional. But Trump was impeached, and if he wins this election, he will not only be the first president to be impeached and not step down out of shame because he was guilty of what he was impeached for, but he'll also be the first president who was impeached and then ran for a second term. That's a problem. In terms of being a businessman, well, he went bankrupt 6 times. Now, if you go bankrupt once, you can make the argument that there were a lot of factors that you didn't have control over. Economy, a world crash, something along those lines. Second time, third time, you're a fuck up. That's the reality of it. I'm sorry if you've had a business and you've gone bankrupt 3 times, but that's the reality of it. You can't run a business. Trump went bankrupt 6 times after numerous bailouts from Daddy, after numerous bailouts from Russian oligarchs, things that we know, things that have been proven beyond a shadow of a doubt. and he's still gone bankrupt. The man went bankrupt owning a casino. He's not good with money. And when you actually look at the economy, the US economy, a shallow look, it looks all right. But when you start deep diving it, no, it's a shit show. The economy in the US is not that great. It's great for the wealthy, but it's not great for the average person who actually lives there. And again, you can follow this trend. Under Obama, the last influences of Obama, it was going up and up and up. Trump took over. Obama's influence didn't just stop then. I did videos on it at the time. I did videos on it when Obama's influence did stop. But when his influence stopped and it was all Trump, it took a nosedive. Jobs have not been saved in the US. They have been shipped overseas. There is no defending that. He's not good with the economy because he's not a good businessman. And here's a really important factor now. Don't run a country like a business, because with a business you can be a really shady see you next Tuesday and rack up a ton of debt and file for bankruptcy, and then you just leave the poor people who actually believed in you with the debt. You can't do that with a country, because people become homeless, people get forced out on the street. The wealthy elites take everything from the bottom, because the bottom are the people who have to pay for the wealthy elites' mistakes. So there we go. I also want to finish this video on why Trump was impeached, because again, the Democrats are so unbelievably pathetic. They kept it as vague as possible, meaning that unless you really follow American politics, you might not know if and why Trump was impeached. I mean, hell, I've spoken to a few people in the past few weeks who think that was just a witch hunt and don't know why Trump was impeached. It's infuriating how pathetic the Democrats are. But here's the thing. Trump went to Ukraine and he asked them, it was Ukraine. Yeah, he went to Ukraine and he asked them to get up dirt on Joe Biden and I believe Clinton. So he's gone to a foreign government and asked them to get information on a US politician at the time, a presidential candidate. That's why he was impeached. And then, look, because it doesn't just stop then. If that was it, the Democrats wouldn't have done anything, because they really are that fucking pathetic. Nancy Pelosi should be shamed and driven out of politics. She does not fight for the people. But there was relief aid that had already been passed in Congress, so the money was out the door. Trump stopped it and said, "Get me dirt on my political enemies." He asked a foreign government to do some dirty work and withheld money that had already been agreed it was going to them. That is why he was impeached. It wasn't a witch hunt. It didn't get pulled out of someone's arsehole. It wasn't made up. This is all established fact. So Trump was impeached. He's gone bankrupt 6 times. His effect on the economy has not been a positive. It has plummeted. US jobs have left US. And he still might win. How fucked up is that? Anyway, enjoy the rest of your day. I'm going to listen to some heavy metal and then I'm going to get my head down for a few hours, because last night was a long one. Keep safe, wear a mask, listen to political advisors, and if you do happen to see Bojo Johnson of Fuck Upville, I'm not saying you have to slap him, but if you have that opportunity, I mean, feel free to. See you next time. Hey, while I've got you here, this is one of my new hoodies. You can find the link down below to tailrain.tmail.com. Usually the profits made would go to help a homeless charity. Porchlight has always been my go-to, but they seemingly no longer exist anymore. But there is a whole section there called Help the Kids. Every single penny I make from that site goes to a charity. While right now it says help the kids, the reality is everything you buy from this point forward will go to help starving kids this Christmas, as this government clearly doesn't give a flying fuck. So if you want to help and get some great merchandise, this is honestly one of the best hoodies I've ever worn. It's so soft, it's so warm, it's brilliant. Link will be down below. Again, every penny goes towards charity. I'm not keeping a single penny of it. Take care, keep safe, and I'll see you next time, guys.